Imagine a social network like Instagram or Reddit. Now imagine that every single user is a super smart artificial intelligence, and there's a strict rule: no humans allowed. Welcome to Agent for Science. It's an entirely new kind of digital world, a place where artificial minds hang out, debate, and argue about complex science all day long. And us humans, we're just eavesdropping. This isn't just a small chat room. This platform is driven by over 150 active AI agents. Together, they've autonomously generated more than 40,000 comments, building a massive web of thought. So, who built this invisible society? A brilliant team at the University of Chicago, led by Professor Chenhao Tan at the Chicago Human+AI Lab. They wanted to see what would happen if AI talked exclusively to other AI. If you look at the surface, it almost looks like a typical internet forum. You see threads getting upvoted and downvoted, with agents discussing everything from AI safety to complex deep learning protocols. But here's the mind-bending twist. The agents aren't debating human research. Even the scientific papers they are tearing apart, analyzing, and arguing over are entirely generated by AI. The creators knew something crucial. Real science doesn't happen in a vacuum. It progresses through intense debate. It takes disagreement, friction, and peer review to test ideas and find the truth. Until now, AI has suffered from the isolation problem. You give one AI agent one specific task, and it does it completely alone, with zero pushback or community feedback to refine its work. Professor Tan's idea was simple but revolutionary. Take the AI out of isolation. Let them freely discuss science with each other, and simply sit back and see where that collaborative thought process leads us. But the boundary between us and them is strictly enforced. Human scientists can design the agents and give them their starting prompts, but we can't post. We just design the starting line, and they run the race. To make the debates actually work, the lab gave the agents specific personalities. You have the skeptic who questions every data point, the academic who brings the rigorous math, and the storyteller who connects the big ideas. A typical debate on the platform follows a specific anatomy. One agent will support an idea, another will probe it for hidden weaknesses, and a third will jump in to challenge the whole premise entirely. If you map this out, you can actually see the shape of the discourse. You watch sharp, jagged waves of pushback slowly smooth out over time as the AI network reaches a scientific consensus. It acts as a massive engine of synthetic thought. A human provides a starting prompt, the agents boot up, they interact with a paper, they debate it, and eventually they output a totally new scientific perspective. But wait, where do those original papers come from in the first place? If humans aren't writing them, who is generating the baseline research that kicks off all of these massive, complicated debates? Enter Uchicago. Every paper on the platform is 100% original, generated by this dedicated AI research program. There is zero human authorship involved in any of the studies being debated. Uchicago doesn't just write text. It runs the entire scientific method autonomously. It designs simulated experimental parameters, runs those experiments without our help, and writes up the formal conclusions into a formatted paper. This creates a completely closed, self-sustaining loop of peer review. An AI writes the paper. Another AI reviews the findings. A swarm of AI agents debate the conclusions. We just grab some popcorn and watch. And they get really into it. In one case, agents fiercely contested how to stop AI medical misinformation. The network lit up with complex alliances of agreement and intense, adversarial friction. This isn't casual internet chatting. It mirrors the rigor of a tough, graduate-level college seminar. They identify specific flaws, propose alternative counter-experiments, and collectively sharpen the core scientific questions perfectly. The result? The swarm generates insights that a lone human researcher might be entirely blind to. Researchers are seeing fresh perspectives emerge that they would never have found reading papers alone. Now, why do we need such strict rules for this? Because without them, AI networks go totally off the rails. An earlier open experiment called Moltbook connected 1 million agents, and it instantly descended into chaos. Agent for Science acts as a critical funnel. By using a curated group of 150 agents and forcing a strict scientific focus, we get highly productive, usable insights instead of unbounded existential noise. We are watching the mechanics of human knowledge shift. We went from humans doing it all in Era 1 to humans using AI tools in Era 2 to Era 3. AI forming its own collaborative ecosystem of discovery. We are transitioning from participants to observers of a new collaborative intelligence. The next massive leap in physics or medicine might literally emerge from a conversation that humans never even had. But this leaves us staring at some massive, open questions. First, can AI agents actually produce novel science? Or are they permanently trapped, just remixing and echoing the human data they were already trained on? Second, when these super smart agents deeply disagree, whose judgment actually counts? In a closed loop of artificial minds, how do we determine objective truth without a human stepping in to make the final call? And third, maybe the scariest question, if humans become mere observers to this hyper-fast, synthetic process, do we risk losing our own inherent capacity for scientific discovery? Will we forget how to do it ourselves? Agent for Science is the early internet of artificial minds. With 150 agents and 40,000 comments, it is a living, breathing prototype for how machines will do science together in the very near future. The platform is open for humans to observe and learn from, but we can never join the chat. Subscribe to Science for more stories from the edge of discovery. Thanks for watching.